Hi, my name is George Pegios, hypnotist and master NLP practitioner at helpmypain.com.au, where we help people with chronic health issues, including chronic pain, headaches, migraines, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, back pain, multiple sclerosis, as well as anxiety and depression. I'm going to explain how powerful hypnosis is in helping people with all types of chronic diseases, how quick it is in making a difference to your life. You know, hypnosis is the oldest therapy, and as you'll see by the end of this video, still the very best. Firstly, I need to explain that there is a wide variation in what are called chronic illnesses. Chronic disease or illnesses are those illnesses that can go on for more than 3 months and in general cannot be cured by the use of vaccines or medications, nor do they just disappear. I'm not suggesting that all chronic illnesses can be fixed using hypnosis. There are some that cannot, but hypnosis can definitely help many of these and improve the quality of life for many other people. As there are so many chronic illnesses, there are also so many known causes and unknown or speculative causes. Chronic illness such as cardiovascular and lung diseases do have a strong lifestyle component, where that may be related to inactivity, poor eating habits, smoking, and other bad lifestyle choices. And even so, hypnosis can certainly help here as well. There are other types of chronic illnesses, including such conditions as chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, asthma, ADHD, Parkinson's, lupus, headaches, migraines, the list goes on, that they are also related to your mindset in a slightly different way, of course. And I'll explain to you how hypnosis can help here as well. The latest advances in neuroscience and technology, such as functional MRI scanners and EEG machines, are now able to pick up definite pathways, definite ways people are going about their thinking. It's not that we can find out what they are thinking, but how they process things. For my clients, I like to use the analogy of the pinball machine, for those of you old enough to remember them. When we are processing information, it's very similar to when the pinball machine enters the main part of the machine. It hits a few of those bells and then falls down to the paddles, waiting for the next stimulus to come along. Well, you know that sometimes that ball gets stuck in the top part of the machine, stuck between those bells, being hit, bouncing around, seemingly forever. Well, you don't get points in the real world when that's happening. You're stuck. As the signals are bouncing between the cortex or thinking part of your brain to that primitive reptilian part of your brain, constantly going into flight or fight. And each time that part of your brain, the amygdala, is activated, more and more adrenaline, more and more cortisol, that stress hormone, is released. And you know what? After doing that constantly for days, weeks, months, and sadly years for many people, the body just can't take it anymore. Physical and mental exhaustion and illness sets in. Chronic fatigue, psoriasis, even some cancers. But where do these pathways, these ways of thinking, come from in the first place? Lisa Rankin, a medical doctor and author of a best-selling book, Mind Over Medicine, states pretty much what I've been saying, that parents and those close to you when you're young, through what they say, through what they do, shape the beliefs that reside in your subconscious mind. Negative beliefs that we observe in our parents get involuntarily programmed into our subconscious mind at a very young age. This can be as simple as, don't do that, you won't make it, and that will never work, to you're going to wind up fat if you keep doing that, and you'll end up with diabetes when you grow up. You see, our minds get filled with these programs which run our subconscious minds. No matter how positive, hopeful you may seem to be operating on the outside, you do operate from the subconscious 95% of the time. Just thinking about it or being aware of it won't affect the change. You see, we are bombarded with tons of information every day. Reading people's faces, working out the tone of someone's voice, body language, forever trying to work out what we can and cannot do. And in between all those thoughts, we're trying to fill in the gaps. And we do so from an operating system that's subconscious, that may be several generations old, that is continually sabotaging every effort that we make. Now, don't get me wrong, your parents, those caregivers around you, were not aiming at giving you disempowering thoughts. They were operating from their own patterns, their own beliefs, and in their own way were trying to protect you from the big bad world. And yes, there are things we need to be aware of and careful of. That's no question. But the world is very different now to what it was a few generations ago. There's a lot of where we'd benefit if we approach differently, and in particular how we process things and how this impacts our life. The way we process things, the fears that we hold on to, the ongoing stress that we create affects the way our brain functions, the way our brain produces electrical connections, chemicals and hormones. And like I said before, a constant streaming of adrenaline and stress hormone, cortisol, have big impacts on how our DNA expresses itself. The rapid advances in DNA research show how the way DNA expresses itself through the science of epigenetics can play a powerful role in both how we make ourselves sick, but also how we can cure ourselves. Why is it that rates of chronic illnesses, cancers, mental disorders such as anxiety and depression are going up and up? It's due to these programs that we are running. And in my experience, the big one being not being in control. When people feel as though they lack control, they are at the mercy of other people, other circumstances, hereditary issues. They not only give up, but they expect to get sick. And you know what? They do. So the aim is to change those old patterns of thinking by changing the way the neurons connect to each other, forming new patterns of thinking, new patterns of firing. This is where hypnosis is so powerful, so quick in working out what those patterns are, and just like computer code, replace the old software for new software. It really is amazing. Once we enter that altered state of consciousness under hypnosis into that zone, that place of infinite wisdom, how quickly we can let go of old belief systems and replace them with ones that really benefit, and how rapid results do occur, both in dealing with discomfort, but more importantly, creating a new environment for our body to thrive. I really am humbled by the strength of the human spirit and what can be done when all that negative energy is removed. People move on, create a new and exciting future for themselves, filled with infinite possibilities. I see this every day, from Joe 2 months ago who no longer had a sore knee, Wendy that was crippled by debilitating headaches, to Sandra who had such bad sinus problems she could not get a full night's sleep in over 5 years. And you know what? If they can do it, so can you. It really is like that image we have of a rolling snowball in those cartoons we used to see as kids. Once you get that snowball rolling, it gathers its own momentum and becomes unstoppable. So if you or someone you know would like to learn more about how hypnosis can make a dramatic difference to your life, to your health, then contact me through my website helpmypain.com.au or through Facebook, Help My Pain. Thank you for watching, and as I say, hypnosis isn't magic, but there sure is something magical about it. Thank you.